Hi, yogis and bobcats. My name is Kay Malik. I'm a yoga instructor at Ping Recreation Center. Thank you so much for joining us on our Ohio University virtual fitness channel. Today we're going to be doing just a short little yoga sequence. It's going to be part of a series I'm doing called deep stretching. So today we're just going to work the upper body, so the back, the shoulders, a little bit of twisting, all that good stuff. I recommend doing the sequence after you're already a little bit warm, but none of the poses are too crazy, so you should be able to jump right in, and we'll bring a little bit of heat into the body by keeping the movement steady and flowing, all that good stuff. So you won't need anything, just your mat, unless you like to keep a block nearby for whatever you like, and we'll begin in child's pose. And bring your knees to a comfortable distance apart, toes come to touch, and then walk your hands down, reaching the hands as far away from you as possible to start to stretch into those shoulders as you melt your forehead down to the mat. Just take a few breaths here to start to settle into your breath. Allowing your breath to culminate in the upper body and through every vertebra of the spine, through the shoulders, through the chests, all the way down into the fingertips and up into the neck. Breathe deeply, sending your inhales to the areas of the body that are experiencing sensation. And you'll inhale to just look slightly forward. Keep your right arm extended towards the top of your mat, and exhale to thread your left arm underneath, reaching over to the right side. And then you can melt down once more, either letting your chin rest on your upper arm or letting your forehead come back down to the ground for a deep stretch through the upper back, through the shoulders here. Keep reaching long with the right fingers towards the top of the mat. And melt down into the left shoulder stretch. Deep belly breaths keep us focused, keep us rooted in the present moment, in the present sensation. Gently unwind from the prone shoulder stretch. Release the left fingers back towards the top of your mat as you thread the right fingers underneath. Same thing here, finding that deep melting through the forehead, through the chest, as you reach forward with the left arm, crawling the fingers a little farther forward away from you. And your next exhale unravels your right arm, reaching back out forward for a last breath in child's pose. And then we'll inhale to come forward to a tabletop, finding a nice long neutral spine. Ground down through both knees. We'll inhale to lift the right arm up in front of you, level with the spine. Exhale to send the left foot just a little bit over to the left, about 45 degrees, so that as you inhale, you can start to rock your weight into your left hand and your left knee, picking the right leg up and the right hand over the ear for a nice long stretch from the right fingers to the right heel. Then we'll exhale, hug elbow into knee, crunching in the side here. Do two more just like that. Inhale overhead, reaching long with the leg. Exhale, contract. Last time, inhale long. This time, exhale as you crunch in, reach for the inner edge of your right foot with your right hand. Start to kick into your hand and open up through the chest, shining your heart up towards the ceiling, grounding down through all 5 fingers on the left hand and through the top of the shin, the top of the left foot to find balance. Take 2 breaths here. Keep spiraling the heart open, chest open. Exhale to gently release the foot. Bring the right hand back down to tabletop. Then we'll do the same on the other side. Inhale to lift the left arm up in front, level with the ears. Kick the right foot over to the right just slightly. Start to roll onto your right side, stacking the left hip on top of the right as you reach over the left ear. Big inhale here, grow long. Exhale, crunch in, elbow to knee. Inhale long. Exhale, contract. Last one, inhale, grow long. Exhale as you reach back, capture the inner edge of your left foot. Kick back with the left foot to naturally open up through the chest, through the left shoulder. Maybe you send your gaze up to the ceiling over your left shoulder. Find at least a moment of balance. If you wobble or fall, that's great. Just come right back into it. Exhale to release the back foot. Come back to center. Good, maybe just swing the hips. Release that little stretch. And then keep your hips stacked over your knees as you walk the hands forward, melting the heart down, finding a slope in the back for puppy pose. Chin can either set on the mat as you rest the heart to look forward, or you can rest the forehead on the mat if you don't quite have the space in your heart this morning. 3 big breaths here. Keep reaching the sits bones back, pressing down into the forearms. Inhale to start to press back into the hands. Come back to your tabletop. Inhale to lift the right hand up towards the sky, shining the heart up towards the right. Exhale to thread the right arm between the left knee and the left wrist, resting the right shoulder on the mat for thread the needle. Maybe you rest your left hand behind your low back, finding a half bind here. 3 breaths here. Release your left hand to the mat if you took the bind. Inhale sends the right hand back up towards the sky. Exhale to tabletop and the other side. Inhale, left arm goes high. Look up towards the fingers. Exhale, thread the needle. Rest the left shoulder, maybe the left cheek. Maybe the right arm reaches back. Half bind, reaching for the left hip crease. Keep stacking the right shoulder over the left, shining the heart forward. Exhale to release that bind if you took it. Inhale sends the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale to come back towards tabletop. Find a nice long neutral spine. And then we'll wiggle the fingers just a couple inches forward. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Now, if this is your first down dog of the day, maybe you want to pause the video and take some time to get acquainted with this pose. Take a couple seconds with some movement, reaching the heels towards the mat alternately. And then yearn the sits bones up as you reach the heart back. Imagine your shoulders are a gate, and you're pushing your heart through that gate. Sending the chest towards the thighs, feeling that deep opening through the front of the body here, and even the back of the legs. It's a really great stretch for the whole body. Take 3 more breaths here. Keep rolling the shoulder blades onto the back. Spiral the triceps towards one another. Finding that outer rotation in the arms. Good. On your next inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Arch through the back, big cat spine as you roll forward to your plank, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. And then as you exhale, come back to down dog, leading with your hips first. So we're finding that ski slope in our back first as we sink the heart back and then the heels. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, cat spine. Arch the back up towards the ceiling as you rock forward to plank. Exhale, down dog. Reach with the buttocks first and then send the heart back. Good. Last time. Inhale, forward, round through the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog, find a back bend. Good, look towards your toes on your next exhale. Start with your right hand, start to walk your hands back towards your feet. You can find a generous bend in the knees here. Wiggle the toes out to about mat's width or even a little wider. Great, and we'll find a little halfway lift here on an inhale, so keep that gentle bend in your knees, finding a long flat back. Then exhale to melt forward down. Reach the hands behind the low back. Interlace the fingers, clasp the palms together. And on an inhale, reach the hands away from you, finding a shoulder rinse. With each inhale, you'll find that little halfway lift, finding length through the spine. And with each exhale, you'll work the arms towards straight. They don't have to be there yet today. They may not be straight for a long time. Keeping the palms pushing together as you work the hands overhead. Really breathe into that shoulder sensation there. 3 breaths here. Your exhale gently bends your arms, releases your hands back to your low back, and then down to the mat. You can heel toe your feet back into about hips distance. Again, starting with your right hand, we'll walk back to our downward facing dog. Just 1 cleansing breath here. Feel how warm your shoulders and chest are starting to get. Inhale, arch the back, lean forward, plank, finding a long line from crown to heels. Exhale, down dog, lift with the hips, finding a slow back bend. Good, and again, inhale forward, arch the back, cat spine, rooting down through all 10 knuckles as you inhale back to downward facing dog. Release the exhale. And again, last time, inhale through plank, arch the back, come forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up first, then finding that shoulder stretch. And then with an inhale, using the left hand to start this time, we'll push back towards our feet. Again, heel toeing the feet out so that they're mat's width or a little wider. Find your halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, melt forward towards the ground. Bring your hands to your low back. Make sure you have the opposite thumb on top, so it should probably feel a little weird. Non-dominant thumb on top. Inhale to reach the palms together, hands up and overhead. As you forward fold a little bit stronger. Inhale, you're imagining that flat spine. Maybe you don't move at all physically, just energetically. And exhale, melts you a little deeper. Again, maybe not moving at all. 2 more breaths just like that here. Exhale to slowly release the hands down to the low back and then down to the mat. Heel toe your feet back into hips distance or whatever your down dog stance is. And then using your left hand first, walking back out to your downward facing dog. All right, get comfortable here. Just take 1 big cleansing breath. And then we're going to go ahead and drop our forearms for Dolphin Pose. So we're reaching down through our whole forearm as we keep yearning the sits bones back in that down dog-like stance. Maybe you walk your feet just a couple inches towards you to find that shape. This is a really deep stretch through the shoulders and the chest as well as a core activator. So this should be really challenging. Just be here for 3 breaths. Breathe through it. Keep sending the heart back, pressing down with the fingers and the arms. Last breath. Stay for the exhale. On your inhale, you can lift back up to downward facing dog. Then we'll shift forward to our plank. Lower all the way down to your belly, hugging the elbows in towards the ribs. And then bring your forearms to the mat. Feet are hips distance behind you, toes reaching down to the ground. We'll find Sphinx Pose. So we're propped up on our forearms. Nice and long spine reaching out of the low back. Shoulder blades roll onto the back. And your hands grip the mat as though you're trying to pull something towards you. Keep breathing into the front body, opening up through the clavicle. And exhale to release your forehead down to the mat. Bring your right arm out by your side at about a 90-degree angle. I hope you guys can see this okay. And then we're going to slowly roll onto our right side, rolling onto our right shoulder. So the left foot can come to the mat behind your right leg. Left hand can stay on the ground. This may already be a really deep stretch to the front side of the shoulder. If you feel you have a little bit more room to twist, you can keep twisting. Oh, also I mentioned you can just leave your foot rested on top of your right leg. Sorry, this is definitely an advanced expression. And then if you have more space, you can keep twisting, maybe bring your right foot to the mat so that both knees point up towards the sky. Keep pressing down through your palm into the mat and breathing into the right shoulder. 3 breaths here. Your next exhale will release the feet towards straight, release you back towards your belly. Slowly come off the right shoulder. Maybe you just shake out that arm. And we'll go over to the other side. So left arm extends out at a 90-degree angle from your shoulder. Press into your right hand to roll yourself onto your left side. And then maybe you stay right here with your right leg just a little bit behind your left. Or you have a little space to twist a little farther, point the right knee up towards the sky. And if that still feels okay, both knees up to the sky, finding a deep twist through the whole spine. Wherever you land is perfect. Breathe into the sensation. Come back to your focal point. Exhale to release the feet back towards straight, the legs, I should say, and then bringing yourself back to your belly. And go ahead and extend your right arm towards the top of the mat. Thread the left arm underneath, and then just use that twist to roll you back onto your back. And then you can shift yourself so that you're back on your mat if that's necessary. Reach the legs long towards the bottom of the mat. Reach the hands high towards the top of the mat. Circle your right fingers around your left wrist and gently pull the left side body over to the right. Just finding a really gentle bend through the whole left side body. This doesn't need to be a really extreme bend here. We want to make sure both shoulders stay grounded in the mat. And if this feels okay, then you can walk your feet a few inches over to the right and then maybe cross the left foot over the right. So you're finding a long, like banana-like shape in your body, an arc from the left fingers to the left heels. Hips and shoulders stay grounded. Maybe you let your gaze fall closed. 5 breaths into your left ribs, all up through the inner edge of your left arm and down the outer edge of your left leg. A T-band stretch. Exhale to release back to center, uncross the feet, release the wrist, come back through the middle, and then the left fingers reach around the right wrist, pulling over to the left side. Again, if that feels okay, maybe the feet walk over to the left, cross the right ankle over the left. 5 breaths here, breathing into the right ribs, the right side body. Exhale to release back through center. Find a long line through your spine. Release the hands down by the sides. Palms can face up. Maybe you wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you for a gentle heart opening here. And release everything down into the mat. Final resting pose, Shavasana. Start to bring some life back into your fingers and your toes, your wrists, your ankles, and then the rest of your body slowly awakening, feeling the prana flowing through that upper body, which we just deeply stretched. And then inhale to reach the arms up and overhead for a good morning stretch. Reach out long through the toes and the fingertips. Using your arm as a pillow, gently roll to your right side, finding supported fetal position. Just take a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat today, to notice the way your upper body especially feels different, and perhaps how your breath feels different, how your mind feels different. We'll start to press up to a tall cross-legged seat, keeping your gaze nice and soft. Inhale to circle your arms out in a big circle around your body, and slowly exhale to drag the hands to heart center. Together we bow and say, Namaste.